Hey guys, I got an update video for you. I'll let you know what's been going on with me. Some of you still don't know that I'm actually back in the United States. I've been back since early September. The primary reason why I left Ukraine and returned to the United States earlier than expected was the owner that owns the property where my manufacturing machines are currently stored at. It needs to sell the property, and in order for him to do that, he needs me to move my machines out of there. So we need to get those machines out of there as soon as possible. So this is B-roll footage from Mykolaiv region last year. Just trying to keep your guys' attention as I go over some of these points. It's going to be kind of dry, but hopefully you guys kind of get a better idea what's been going on with me and what my involvement with Ukraine is going to look like here in the future. So first, one of the things I get asked a bit by you guys and even some friends and family, why don't I just sell the machines here and buy new ones in Europe? Simple answer, quickest answer is that is more expensive. In order to sell my machines here, buy new ones in Europe, and then get those out to Ukraine. Slightly more intensive answer is I had to sell the machines here. I have to drop the price down relatively low in order to sell them in the time frame that I have. Then I will have to go through Europe and look for those similar capable machines in Europe. So we're talking about TM1 Haas mill with fourth axis, a TL2 lathe with everything that I have with the lathe right now. On top of that, tooling. On top of that, all of my measuring equipment. All of my measuring equipment and testing equipment could be put into a 20-foot container by themselves. And even a 20-foot container is slightly more than half of what a 40-foot container will cost to ship out to Ukraine. Then you have my finishing equipment. That's sandblasters. That's the anodizing tanks that I have. I don't do massive commercial anodizing, but I can anodize small and individual parts in order to do some testing with those. As well as all the tooling like the tool holders. In Europe, they use the BT type. In America, we use the CAT or the CT40 type. Those are two different tool holders, which means that the hundreds of tool holders that I have now, that I've spent money on now, here in the United States when I first started my company, might be worthless when I get out to Europe and all I can find are Haas mills with a BT spindle. Also, machines are not interchangeable, just the manual machines that I see a lot up for sale, but I do see CNC machines. I see manual to CNC conversions. So they were manual machines. They put a computer on them with steppers. However, those machines, they might not be adequate for what I need. On top of, now I find a lathe that is at the exact same capabilities. It's going to have to be a Haas. Let's say I find that in England, and I find another Haas mill in Germany. Now I have two shipping charges, not only from England to get to Ukraine, but also Germany to get to Ukraine. I still need to replace all that tooling, all those fixtures that I have. That's why it is simple for me to put everything into a container here, pay the anywhere between 12 to 15,000 I've been quoted on per container, ship those out to Ukraine, and those go from here. The containers get loaded here, get put onto a container ship here. 3 to 4 months will arrive in Poland. They get taken off the ship in Poland, put on rails in Poland, and then will find their way into Ukraine within a week or two. And once they get off the rails in Ukraine, those are put onto a truck. That truck then goes to my factory location. We take the forklifts and we take everything off the trucks then and there, which simplifies logistics and just simplifies everything that we're doing in order to accomplish what we need to do. I also had questions about why not just leave the machines here, produce here in the United States. Why risk sending it to Ukraine? Why risk it getting blown up? First off, let's kind of address the blowing up thing. We have in place safeguards to help prevent that from happening. I'm not going to discuss them really here, but primarily it boils down to, in order for Russia to destroy my factory, they're going to need to know where it is. So we're doing a lot of safeguards to prevent them from knowing where it is, to even making it, survivable from near misses of Russian cruise missiles or Russian drones. Then why not just, another one was why aren't we just produce right here? That would work if we were producing a production run of specific drones. Since we're in the prototyping phase, we're going to design something. We're going to realize that that thing needs to be altered or changed or doesn't work at all in the the grand scheme of what we're building. So we're going to have to redesign it. Having the machines here and then sending these parts out to Ukraine for testing is going to eat up time. And we can't really we can't build the drones here and then test them here. First off, I'm only building the hardware, the frames, the chassis, the bodies of these drones. I'm not doing any of the electronics, the propulsion, the avionics, the targeting systems. I'm not doing any of that, which means they're going to have to send that stuff to me in order for us to assemble it onto a drone anyway. And then also, yeah, some of them are going to be dropper type drones where they fly over a position, they drop a large piece of ordnance, they blow up that position, and then they return to base. We will also have drones that are capable of firing. So you have overpressure from some of the weapon systems we're firing, and you also have recoil from some of the weapon systems we will be firing. And we can't really test those drones here in the United States without getting specific licensing. We get those licenses, then we have to get the equipment in order to test, the explosives in order to test, all that stuff in order to test. It's going to be long and drawn out. So moving the machines to Ukraine, utilizing my ability in Ukraine is going to be better. There's no issue with the fact that Ukraine is a metric country and we're an imperial country. Half the stuff I did here in the United States was in metric anyway, so that has no issue to me. Same thing with the guys I will be working with. We already have a whole bunch of competent engineers and a whole bunch of machinists out there. So in about a week and a half, I will be heading out to Washington, D.C. I will be talking to members of Congress, telling them my experiences in Ukraine, fighting in Ukraine, and give them an idea of what our aid that the United States has been sending to Ukraine, how it's being used, what Ukraine still needs, and continuing drumming support for Ukraine through our lawmakers. After that, I will be going out to Texas. I will be on the Speak the Truth podcast with Robert. So for those of you who don't know who he is, he's been covering the Ukrainian war since the beginning. He does some mapping, he shows video, he gives commentary about what he's seeing. He's an ex-U.S. Army as myself. He's had Bryce on his podcast. Bryce was one of my team members. I will be going out there. I will be sharing some exclusive videos with him and some exclusive stories about my time in fighting the Russians in Ukraine. So don't miss that. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. I should be out there by the beginning of November. So I've also received my first shipment of souvenirs and trophies from Ukraine. We're still figuring out what we can get through Ukrainian customs as well as U.S. customs without any issue. I will be making an eBay account specifically for selling not only my souvenirs and trophies, but also I'm working with some other organizations who they have teams out in Ukraine fighting that needs support. And we will be working together in selling a lot of these souvenirs and stuff. My stuff will be labeled as stuff from Nuck and Futz. I will be going through everything that's sold on this eBay account to ensure that everything is authentic from the front, from these fighters' memes, and the money will go to these various teams and organizations to continue fighting for Ukraine. So I will let you know when that stuff gets off the ground. That's in the near future. After I get back from DC, I'm going to have to relocate my machines. Hopefully I have the funds together in order to move them from San Diego to here to Temecula. Once I get the machines here in Temecula, I will actually be powering them up. First off, I will be checking to make sure that there's no damage or there's no maintenance issues on these machines prior to sending them out to Ukraine, because it will be quicker and cheaper for me to handle any mechanical issues here in the United States before they go out to Ukraine, as well as producing some equipment that we're going to need out in Ukraine while these machines spend the next few months being shipped into Ukraine. So I'll let you guys know. I'll try to keep more on top of giving you guys some updates. I'm not a huge fan of social media, so I'll try to make some more videos for you guys in more regularity. Probably share some stories with you on my YouTube channel and my Instagram. I'm not huge on social media. I'm not a huge fan of it. My Facebook, like, it got locked out almost a year ago, and I still haven't bothered to unlock it. Just that's how little I care about being on social media. But it's you guys, your guys' support, your guys' um, constant reaching out to me to make sure that everything's still okay and stuff, that keeps me going on making this content for you guys. So I appreciate you guys. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up with what's going on so we can continue to get the word out and continue to help defend Ukraine against this Russian aggression. So again, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are having a good day. Slava Ukraina.